Hey guys, what up? Welcome to another episode of Hearthstone Deck Tech. Today we'll be talking about what I think is the best Mecha'thun shell in the game, and that's Mecha'thun Priest. So we're going to talk about that right now. Here's the deck list you can see. We're not going to go too much into the different cards and the value of the different cards in the deck, as this is something I always cover in my podcast. So please tune into my podcast. It's very in-depth. Each card we go into the detail about the role of each card and if they can be replaced. But for this, we're going to just talk about the combo, and we're going to get some gameplay and a real match of like how to do it, how to use it. So for those of you who don't know, the combo revolves around Mecha'thun, 10-10 Death Rattle. If you have no cards in your deck, hand and battlefield, destroy the enemy hero. That seems obviously pretty difficult to do. You have to have cleared out your deck. You have to have played all the other cards in your hand. You have to play this 10 mana card, and you have to have it die. So the way we're going to accomplish that is with the combo. So that combo is Reckless Experimenter, 5 mana, 4/6, Death Rattle minions. You play cost 3 less, but die at end of the turn. Coffin Crasher, 6 mana, 6/5, Death Rattle, summon a Death Rattle minion from your hand. And 2 Ticking Abominations, which is 4, 5, 6 Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to your minions. So basically, you play out all the cards in your deck except those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combo pieces. You play, and it's got to be in this order. You play the Reckless Experimenter, then you play the Coffin Crasher, then you play the 2 Ticking A-Bombs. And as long as Mecha'thun is the only card in your hand, and there's no cards in your deck, you've won right there. Because what happens is the Coffin Crasher Death Rattle happens first. It puts Mecha'thun into play. The Ticking A-Bombs Death Rattles happen, killing Mecha'thun and everything on your side of the board. And since you have no cards in your deck, hand and battlefield, you win. So that's the combo. That's the combo in just a small, like a gist of what it does. All the cards in the deck are survivability or draw. All right, pretty simple deck. It has some very good matchups, but it also has some very bad matchups. Oops, this is the wrong deck. The bad matchups being Warlock, Mage, any deck that can interrupt the cards in your hand. So Warlock does that with cards like Demonology Project. All they have to do is wait till the end of the game, and when you have 5 cards left in your hand or right before you're on your last card, they just play Demo Project and you lose. Same thing with Mage. Mage can just wait till you get really late in the game, and then all they have to do is play Explosive Runes when you have 5 cards left in your hand, and they kill your Reckless Experimenter. So there is counterplay. There's a lot of counterplay. It's not the strongest deck, but it's one of the best combo decks, especially if people aren't playing counters around them. In this matchup, I actually haven't challenged a lot of hunters, so I assume they're Spell Hunter, and Wild Pyro is always a good keep against aggro. Spirit Lash is always a good keep against aggro. Usually I want to keep draw in my hand, but I think we're going to go ahead and keep those cards, and we'll keep Hemet, because I just don't know how quick my opponent's deck is. Hemet is usually a good keep against control decks. Not so good against aggro. You're going to want to draw into this. But Hemet is the best deck thinning card. So if you think about the deck and what it only has combo pieces and Psychic Scream above 3 cost, right? So once you play Hemet, you are 4 or 5 turns away from the game ending. So Acolyte of Pain, that's a nice card to see. Hopefully he plays a secret here. We can play Acolyte, keep it on the board. There you go. So we're keeping... And that was not a card he mulliganed, right? It didn't look like a card that he mulliganed, so... Could be since it didn't look like a card he mulliganed. I don't think it's Freezing Trap. I feel like it's Wandering Monster. So let's see. Let's play and find out. So he has Stitch Tracker. This tells me he's playing maybe a list that's running the Secret Guy. By the Secret Guy, I mean Secret 9 or whatever that dude is. Alright, so we just wrote off a bunch of cards. We know that it's not Snake Trap, we know it's not Venom Strike Trap, and we know it's not Freezing Trap, so it's very likely to be Wandering Monster. We have 7 cards in hand. Let's just draw more cards. So he's got 7. So with the way the board state is, I don't think there's a way for him to find like he's not gonna make me overdraw. Like at max, he puts me at 9, which is good. Something to note. Look at that. He wasted a kill command on that. That's how much he respects that card and how much he didn't want me to draw cards. It's pretty crazy. Okay, we're gonna hold all the cards in hand because we are 1 turn away from going ham with the combo. So we're gonna, or well, not with the combo, but at least putting out Hemet and just really changing the complexion of the game. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So, yep, so he's playing Subject 9. Drew a bunch of spells, and now he's got to get rid of the coin. Feels bad, man. Cool. It's unfortunate. This is a wasted card, but... oh, well. What are you going to do, right? Like, sometimes you just got to... you gotta make the plays you gotta make. We still need 10 mana for the combo, so we're still 4 turns away. So what we have has to keep us alive for a certain number of turns here. This is okay. One of those is bound to be Freezing Trap, and I don't want to cast this twice. So just gonna do this. You remember, all the cards in my hand, I have to get rid of. So I have to play these out over the course of the next 3 turns. Alright. You see how big Hemet was? Like, how big of a... like, you cannot keep Hemet versus Zoo. Like, you need removal, okay? Like, you can't keep it versus Zoo or Odd Paladin. But versus these other decks, which try to get value by stealing tempo, you can certainly get there, right? So next turn, we're going to play Psychic Scream. All right? And I don't want to get another copy of Psychic Scream and make it so I have so many Psychic Screams I need to play. So instead, we'll just... like, we know this is a snipe, okay? So, well, we'll just play into it. And next turn is a Psychic Scream turn, so... there you go. So now next turn we'll be able to play Psychic Scream plus a Shadow Visions, and then we just win on the following turn. Unless our opponent has some secret tech that he has not shown us. But likely not, because he needs to fight for the board in some way. Right. So remember what we did here. Like, there's a lot of tricky things that we did. Oh, he got another secret out. Can any of these secrets kill me? I don't think so. So, like, if this was... so there we go. Now, look, we have no cards in our deck. We have only the 5 combo pieces. Our opponent has no way to interact with this, so we won. So remember, the order is important. Reckless Experimenter, Coffin Crasher, double ticking. Pretty crazy. Like, it's pretty crazy to think that we won this way. Well played. Like I said, the only ways to get over this is to play with counters to the combo. Remember that order. Coffin Crasher, then those 2. They all die. Mecha'thun comes in. Double explosion. and we win the game. Right? So it's pretty crazy to think that the only way to counter that is to either be really quick, right? Like you just be really aggressive, like Odd Paladin or Zoo. Like even Odd Paladin struggles because you have Wild Pyro, you have ways to offset that damage until you get to turn 7, then you play, Psychic Scream, right? But and Zoo is just too strong. Okay, Zoo is just, they always can refill their hand, so they can always go wider than your removal, right? So those matchups are difficult, but it, like everything else, is within realm of beating. Like you're not gonna lose to too many things. Like especially if you draw Hemet. Like, and that was a situation where we kept Hemet in the mulligan, and like I said, in any deck that is not extremely wide on the board, like Odd Paladin or Zoo, you're going to keep Hemet if you have it, because it's just such a good early game play. It's such a good play on curve. Remember, the the only cards that will remain in your deck are the 5 combo pieces and 2 Psychic Streams, which, you need the 10 mana to do the combo. So, it doesn't hurt to have a turn 7, turn 8, or turn 9 play, which are board wipes, right? Yep. So that's the deck. I've tried 2 versions, right? So I've tried this version, and I've tried a version that runs the priest quest and runs more Death Rattle minions, which has its benefits, right? Because you get to run Dead Ringer, you get to run Twilight's Call, which are all very strong draw options in a deck, and they also just give you a board presence. But I found that I prefer this version way more, simply because if you hem it early in the other version, maybe you don't complete the quest, and that becomes a problem because you will accidentally complete the quest with the remaining, creatures in your hand. Like let's say the quest is on 2, and then you end up, if you play these other 5 creatures out, you're going to end up with the quest Amara in hand. You'll complete the quest and you won't win because you'll have a card in your hand. So because of that, I like the build the way it is. Like I would love to fit a Dead Ringer or 2 in the deck. I just don't know how to. But yeah, that's the deck. If you like what you see, of course, give me a follow, subscribe to me here, and also listen to my weekly podcast where you can see these decks in way more detail. And I will catch you next time, guys.